Going on, everybody? This is Mike Jones, aka Phil Jones, however you know me personally and professionally, and I am the host of the Extraordinary Man podcast. So you guys know the co-host is with the most, is the greatest ever to grace the side of a podcast
Man, I
microphone.
appreciate
But
that, man. I
by now,
appreciate
by
that.
now he should by now he shouldn't even require an introduction. But just in case you are brand new or you have never been on this platform before, state your name, sir.
Man, what is happening, man? I definitely appreciate that intro, man. This is Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go.
All right, all right. So last week we had one of the greatest, literally one of the greatest times I've ever had in the podcast space.
It was a classic, to say the least, for
You
sure.
know, I mean, it definitely, it'll definitely age well for sure. But the reason for bringing this up is because of the fact that it was so good we decided to spin the block with it again because we got a positive reaction, definitely a positive response off of it. But I think that it opened up the door for more questions, more feedback, better understanding, and a greater sense of wanting to know where we stood on a couple of very key matters. Before we get started, though, let us go ahead and inform the public that we are now 222 subscribers in on our YouTube channel.
Yes. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. All 222 of y'all.
So, those who have not had a chance to hit the subscribe link as of yet, there's the link at the bottom of the screen. By all means, feel free to jump in, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you guys think about the content. And again, we always thank you humbly for taking the time to watch, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the entire hour, whatever have you. We are just grateful for the fact that you decide to spend some of your time with us. And there's no greater sense of gratitude for us than just knowing that you guys are interested in what we have to say.
Absolutely, man. I feel like that we should have clipped that Rick Ross song 222. We should have clipped
I,
that.
I
That, that was
I'm so out of touch, bro. I didn't even know he had a song called 222. I ain't
no,
gonna
it
hold.
wasn't. It was just a saying that he said in the song.
Oh, I'm
It
about to
was
say like
I
because
push and I
I couldn't quote you a Rick Ross lyric other than
yeah, yeah.
that's
Hungry,
probably it.
the hungry man. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I'm out of tune. I'm out of tune for sure.
things tomatoes. Oh, yes. I want it all. Hog hogs. Oh.
All right, all right, all right, all right. So before we get too far off the beaten path, let's go ahead and get right into the subject matter of today, which is potential reasons why we don't excel, part two. You want to go ahead and take off this go around, or you want me to go ahead and just lighten it up?
Man, we go ahead and light it up because you just mentioned that you had some more sauce to put in them ribs.
I got some
And
sauce for the ribs. I got some more cheese for the
you know what I'm
macaroni.
saying? I gave story time and all that. So let's go ahead, wind up that doll, and then I'm gonna slide in the slide.
All right, cool. Let's does it. So first and foremost, out the gate, relentless Mikey out the gate. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. So, good morning, good evening, relentless
Good
Mikey.
morning.
So, one of the things that I definitely wanted to emphasize about some of the reasons why people don't succeed or why they don't excel. I think that we kind of glanced over this one, but I think that it's an important one to visit. Is because of the fact that so many people are so not accustomed to actually seeing what a win looks like. They're so accustomed to accepting loss or feeling like losing or not completing what they start is a part of their lives. Like this is a regular thing. I feel like so many people are practicing failure And after we spoke on this, I started just looking around at different areas of my own personal life and started looking around at different attributes of the people that surround me. Started really assessing my circle, assessing where a lot of my personal energy goes to as far as when I'm having conversations with people. You ever had a conversation with somebody and you would they have a problem or a conundrum or something, and as you speaking to them, it's just kind of like, the thing that's really bothering you, I could solve that kind of simple. Yeah, if you listen to what I'm telling you. But then every other word that they said was a reason why or a further elaboration of the problem. So much to the point you realize, oh, the problem isn't the issue that you have. The problem is you. The problem is your assessment. The problem is the fact that you are married to the problem, not the solution. You don't even care about a solution. You're
I
not
was just
even
about to go there.
you're not even remotely interested. You really just want to complain.
That's what it is. They just want to get off that problem that they have at that moment. They just want somebody to hear their ailments, to hear their crying, to hear their complaints. And as long as they was able to get that off, they were perfectly fine. They were
You know,
perfectly fine.
I do think that there is a component of where people should be able to decompress. But one thing that I've never really understood is that, and I'm guilty of this. Let me not try to act like I'm just so above this situation or nothing like that. One thing I don't understand about an aspect of human nature, up until the point to where you actually catch this about yourself or catch this about others, is the need to get stuff off of your chest. The need to decompress certain things. Now, some of us are built-in problem solvers. What that means is when you come to us with something, we want you to know that in the nicest way possible, I have so much other stuff to do that the second you tell me about what the problem is, I'm automatically geared toward tentative solutions. I'm I'm absorbing what you're saying, and I'm thinking about how to solve it. If I'm asking you more follow-up questions, it's because I'm trying to process the large picture and give you a reasonable way to get yourself out of that situation.
Let me ask you something, Mike,
Go ahead.
because that's actually pretty accurate. So I guess my question to that is, um, I guess more along the lines of, do we need to do that? Because isn't that in a way being an enabler in some way? Like, are they actually coming to you for an actual solution? How many times has this person came to you for a solution and has actually utilized the either the advice or some type of whatever statement that you gave them, have they actually put it uh into use and tried to, you know, fix their solution or fix their problem, whatever?
Truth be told, I really feel like when a person is actually trying to fix the problem, how they approach a situation would determine whether or not they're venting or whether they're trying to find a solution. Number one, if you look at the role that you play in their lives, what role do you play? Like, for instance, if you're the person that they come to borrow money, are you the person they come to first, or are you the person that they come to last? Are you the person that is just like, oh God, I know, God, I never wanted to call this person, but I'm in a bind and I absolutely need what I need. Because I know when I call this person, I know when I call them, I know what I'm going to get when I get them. They may give up the money, but they want a 5-point presentation on how they're gonna get their money back, what day and what time. So by 5 o'clock on payday Friday, I should be seeing that Zelle, seeing that Cash App. I should be seeing some transaction, and I shouldn't have to call you to tell you what it is that I need. But before we even go through the repayment process, what's going on? It's like the third time you didn't ask me to borrow some money, man. You good? Maybe
For
we
sure.
need to, maybe instead of me lending you some money, why don't we sit down and have a conversation about why you always in need all the time? And you don't want to have to answer that question to me. So if you know that's my method of operation, generally somebody is looking for a solution. You only come to that person when you absolutely are in the bind and you have nowhere else to turn.
But that plan that you talked about, that's very important. So I mean that's definitely a whole financial conversation in itself, dealing with money and friends and or money and loved ones and things of that nature. But I think that is highly important that we have that documentation, regardless if it's family, regardless if it's somebody that you grew up with for your whole life. That paperwork is so important. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We homies, we family, but at the end of the day, when it's coming down to these dollars, it's a business transaction that's taking place. It needs to
Absolutely.
be.
Absolutely. And I think that is like when you look at certain situations, everything just ranging from something as simple as lending somebody money or something more complex as relationship problems or something more complex as, it's like some people have this tendency to always lean in a direction to where they will get the most sympathy, where people are most compassionate of their plight. And that's where they tend to lean the most.
The path of less resistance.
Yeah, in a sense. Actually, yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good example. You see, if I know that I have no real plan to do anything about it, I'm going to go to the person that's least likely to ask me what am I going to do about it.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that's what I'm going to vent. You see, as a husband, boyfriend, when your woman comes to you and tells you that they're having a problem with something, you're all ears. The very first argument that most men and women have before they even start arguing about money and finances and stuff like that is this epic little battle that they have where she just wants you to listen, but she never tells you that she just wants you to listen. And then you guys get this tit for tat because you put your hard hat and your boots on because you're ready to solve the problem because your job and your innate response to your woman is to bring ease to her suffering. And anything that's going on that seems like it's aiding to her suffering, we're ready to jump in and nip that thing in the bud. She don't want you to solve the problem. She just wants you to be an ear. In the back of your mind, it's just like, what's so hard about saying, hey, can you just let me get this off my chest and not say nothing? We have to decode that, or we have to get into these epic battles to hear them say that for whatever reason. It's like when you become the man, you become the best friend. But the best friend is often being misconstrued like you are the best girlfriend. Like you're supposed to have attributes that they have. You're supposed to have attributes that the male friend have. You're supposed to have attributes of all these different people, and it's supposed to just like merge into one. And it's like, no, I am the one that is in charge of solving your problems. I'm the one in charge of finding solutions or assisting you with solutions to your problem. That's my job. So I do my job and I take my job very serious. So if you want me to apply a different attribute of our friendship side of our relationship, you should probably be telling me that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because immediately I'm going into problem solving mode. I'm going into Bob the Builder mode. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. Can we build it? Yes, we can. So man, that's actually a gem. I'm finna explode that. I'm finna explode that because I think that is highly important when it comes to relationships and really
I agree with
understanding
you.
one another. What's up?
I got to get used to these sound effects.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's very important when it comes to the dynamic of, you know what I'm saying, being in a relationship with somebody and that level of communication on that level, because even that right there alone, that could actually ease a lot of situations and stop a lot of arguments. And why every time I come talk to you, you ready to do something? You ready? You know what I'm saying? Like you always on go mode. Well, you never came to me and said not to be. You came to me with a problem. You said the tire was flat. You never said, "Hey, the tire's flat. Walk me through the process of how I'm supposed to resolve this." You just said the tire flat. Okay. Well, let me go get the jack. Let me go get the four way and let me do what I do. You know, so I think that's very important. That's a very important gem.
Well, because the thing is, it's more so like this. It's like you'll start this story off, say, you never know, you'll never guess what kind of day I had. I got up, I went and I did such and such. I went to the grocery store. I came out of the grocery store, and my tire was flat. And back in my mind, it's like, okay, well, the tire might still be flat. No, okay, let me go outside and go take a look at the car.
Hmm.
Because immediately, as soon as I hit tire was flat, I identify a problem. So my follow-up questions are, did you drive on the flat? Because maybe the rim is bent now, or maybe the tire can still be salvaged. Like, what did you do?
Hmm.
So I have a theory that men are poor listeners and women are poor communicators. Now, I'm talking to intelligent people, so I don't think that I should have to say all, because there
No,
are,
you should say all, but a lot of people is gonna presume that to be the opposite. But
yeah. I mean,
I
at the end of the day, it's like, so I can save the time for the banter and stuff. Yeah, there's men who that can apply to men too. That
yeah.
whatever, sure can. Everything can apply to men except pregnancy. So what? Okay, but from my analysis of how it appears that a greater consensus of interactions go is that men we hear, but trigger words send us into a call for action.
Hmm.
Women, because they feel and they speak based off how they're feeling and what they're feeling in the moment, they don't understand all the time that what you say to us or how you say to us elicits a response. We are responsive in nature. When we say things to you, we're saying things to you because we need a result to follow. When you're saying things to us, it's because you really just want to be heard. You want to know how we feel and not what we plan to do about your problem. We
Hmm.
are terrible listeners and they are terrible at communicating exactly what they want. You ever been asked to go to the store and then it's like get the list, so whatever, and then
Hmm.
it's like as soon as you get there, it's like 50 brands of that thing, and it's like, okay, well, what is the specific brand that you want? You sent me to go and get razors. Okay, great. They're like, okay, they got Schick, you got these guys, you got these guys, you got these guys, you got the electric ones, you got the. It just say razors on here. Which razors am I supposed to get?
Right.
Then it's like if you go and you grab the wrong ones,
Hmm.
well, I was just supposed to know. You
Right.
shave your legs with these things 2, 3 days, 2, 3 times a week. I do zero shaving ever. But somehow I was supposed to just, well, you see what I use? No, I don't. I'm busy saving the world. I don't pay attention to those little small nuances.
Yeah, you right, Mikey. We're definitely not Professor X. You know what I'm saying? We can't read minds. Uh I don't know, man. It's just the way that it's just the way men are hardwired, dude. We're hardwired to fix. We're hardwired to problem solve. You know what I'm saying? anyone that's hardwired I ain't gonna say not hardwired the right way, but most men that operate like a man are hardwired to fix
Solution
problem solve.
oriented. I have a
Solution.
solution oriented people. Now, why do I bring all of this to the center stage and just talking about like the concept of relationships and other things? Because of the fact that a lot of us, when I was bringing up earlier on in the show about how a lot of us are so prone to practicing failure, a lot of relationships go astray because these two dynamics of how men operate and how women operate are so poorly understood and so poorly articulated. Nobody's giving the user manual to the man to say, hey, listen, every once in a while, you just gotta, you gotta think, you gotta think in a position of saying, before you start, are you looking for me to help you solve a problem, or do you just need me to be BFF and just be an ear right now? Because they're feeling, they're not logically thinking, and that's the reason why they're getting ready to go off on a tangent.
I think every woman should bring us their user manual. Every woman has a different user manual.
It's a pretty standard
Give
user
us their
manual. It just has it's
there,
a pretty
there's gonna be a baseline standard edition, what I'm saying, C plus language, Java language. I get all that. But when you start getting into the special features and the key features of what that woman is offering or bringing or whatever, the user manual, they need to bring their user manual and say, hey, when I'm coming to you like this, if I'm saying this, if I'm talking like this, I just want to hear. If I'm coming to
you,
you like this, I'm actually looking for you to get the tool bag.
you know, and I'm glad you said that. Because I think that as a society currently, we have this fixation with the idea of we want to know that the person that we're with is taking the time to actually learn us. It's like if I'm going to Chipotle, you don't have to tell me how you want your Chipotle. I already know exactly how you want it. I can just go and I can eyeball it. Yep, that's I say extra cheese. That's not enough. No, I can't bring that back. Extra sour cream. Nope, that thing ain't swimming. I know already the second I walk out the door when it comes down to certain things because of the repetitive nature of knowing how you operate in certain settings. I know, okay, that's not going to work. That's not going to happen. And then you look for somebody that knows you like that in return. But a lot of times with certain situations, it be me more so like methods of operation. It's like, well, why would you spend money on that? Oh, well, I thought that it would be fine. But you already know how I am when it comes down to this particular thing. You know that I don't like when you do this, or you know we've been down this road and you know how I respond when things like this happen. Like, why would you? Oh, well, I thought it would be a good idea. Well, why would you think that it was a good idea knowing how I feel about XYZ? See, you create a rationale for why it's okay for you to cross the boundary line because you've manifested a reason of why this is a good idea without considering the fact that no, Mike ain't he ain't finna go for this at all. Man, this sounds like a great idea, but this great idea ain't worth all the pushback and all the resentment I'm gonna get for it. Nope, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm good. That's not gonna get me. That I ain't even finna go home and talk to him about that because I already know how he finna respond. I know he finna jump through the ceiling. I'm good. I'll pass. Sometimes you look at things and you say, okay, well, clearly, if you know that if I'm out at the dinner table and the waitress seemed like she a little too friendly with me, if I laugh and I chuckle and I engage or I indulge a little bit too much, I know how she is. I know
Yeah.
she don't like that. So why would I? Oh well, I'm just being friendly. We just at the restaurant. She just no. I already know that what that, and we
It
and
came
we
back.
okay, and we expect that people are paying attention to us the same way that we're paying attention to them. that they're paying attention to those nonverbal cues, those triggers, that you know when I'm uneasy, you know when I start to go into reserve mode, that is like, obviously, I feel like the line of disrespect is being tested at the moment. You know what I'm saying? We expect that people are paying the same attention to us as we do to them. And because of the fact that how we receive love is two completely different ways, part of our user manual is that respect is the only way that we know how to receive love. And a lot of men don't know that that's the way that it is. That's why they misconstrue the kindness of women as sometimes flirting with them, or sometimes they pursue a woman who is just genuinely feminine in nature because she is respectable.
Mm-hmm.
And you could feel the energy of somebody who was taught to be respectful, and you just all over it. You can't adequately read whether or not it's who she is or she's that way toward you. Because it's a draw.
Yeah.
It's a draw. A smile, nice gesture, just making you like in customer service settings. Like I told somebody, there's a reason why, and I've never been in this situation, but I guarantee there's a reason why so many rich people go and find waitresses.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a reason why OJ and Tiger Woods married waitresses. We're not gonna talk about OJ too much. You know, obviously I don't want to trigger nobody in that situation, but I think there's a reason why rich, powerful people are known to date so far down, because the line of respect and resentment is much lower.
Yeah. I would say the level of appreciation is tenfold, you know, for what a man has to offer, bring in for that young lady, for that said waitress, mail carrier, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like their level of appreciation for what that man has is unbelievable, you know.
I think there's a lot of it too is more so appreciation for what somebody is willing to do for them. Because if you're asking for somebody to build something from scratch, is a whole different conversation than asking somebody to share what they've already amassed.
Yeah.
It's a completely different conversation. I think that is like a lot of times that those conversations they get taken out of context often, primarily because of the fact that that it's not that out of the normal. It's not that out of context to have a conversation that is like, if I already have established something, I've already done something with myself in some capacity, that if you're asking me to already come into the situation with resources and to share something that you did not help me earn, I think that in one sense, it's kind of like, all right, well, there are certain stipulations that's going to come along with that. But then I also think that in another light, that there's a certain level of appreciation as somebody who has not had will ultimately have, especially when their life can change in a moment.
Yeah. Lickety split.
Yeah.
Just
So yeah, so it's like if my life can change, if ultimately my life can change in a matter of moments, to me that looks like a situation where I would be hugely grateful for the opportunity. It's like when somebody gets a much higher level position than what they were. So when you go from being baseline and entry level, and then you move into management or move into another tier of something, to where the dollar amount of change is going to drastically increase your living standard. that I go from making ends meet to I could reasonably afford to save up for a house, and
Mhm.
I can be eligible to enter the housing market in 6 months. That I can pay off credit and I can actually save money and I can pay my bills and expenses just like that because the drastic jump in pay. Those people who see the opportunity for what the opportunity is will be highly grateful for the opportunity. You don't feel like, well, I just deserved to be here. I should have been here. I don't know why it took y'all so long to hire me for this.
Mhm.
So sometimes the position that a person is in will dictate how they receive drastic changes. Tie that into our topic today. Potential reasons why we don't excel is because a lot of people are unappreciative of opportunities.
Yeah, I can definitely say that for sure because I definitely have seen a lot of people where they got offers on the table, 80, $90,000 offers, scared to take it, won't take it because they so loyal to whatever that other situation they got going on over here. Uh, refusing to go to uh, a major city because of weather. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen a lot of opportunities just get turned down and missed opportunities just get, you know what I'm saying, they just get thrown out because of certain said conditions or certain said circumstances. And you know what I'm saying, which we talked about on the show on Tuesday was being afraid to take the risk. So I mean, I've witnessed a lot of that, you know, coming up, especially starting I say about maybe 2010 when I started my business to now, I've seen a lot of that happen.
You know, ultimately, what happens with a lot of us, and I say us as far as a collective unit of people rather than particular individuals, sorry, is that a lot of us feel that the opportunities that are on the table are not for them because they have an idea in their mind on what it's supposed to be. So they'll pass up on everything. So I'm
Mm,
renting, and the only thing on the market is a condo or a townhouse. And I'm too good to live in a condo or a townhouse, but then I'll continue to pay rent where my money is going nowhere because I'm holding out for when the market is going to potentially drop and when the prices of the houses are where I want them to be. Because the first, right out the gate, I want the house of my dreams right now, and I want it for the price that I'm willing to pay for, it, and I will forego every single reasonable opportunity to engage in that thing that I want because I'm fixated on this idea and I'm not open to see the opportunities that are on the table.
mhm.
Do you want to be a owner and stop paying rent and have your money actually start working for you? Or do you want it to be just the way that you want it to be and that's it? Because
I
now
don't
you're
think
not waiting on you said what?
I think that statement right there alone, I think a lot of people don't really know what that mean to make money work for you. I don't know what that mean. You know, passive income is fantastic, but the thing about passive income is you have to put work in to make it passive.
Hold on, say it again. Say it again.
He made he
No,
okay. I'll say
I know what he said. I just want you to say that part that you just said. Say it one more again.
Oh, I said that the thing about passive income is that you have to put work in to make it passive.
I
Did I?
just wanted to hit I just wanted to hit that out loud one more again. Reason why is because people are married to terms and concepts. A lot of us are. A lot of us are married to ideas on how things should be or what those things mean. So when we say passive income could be technically if you put your money in a bank in a savings account every month when that dividend pays out, technically you didn't do anything to earn it. You had to put money into the account. So even if it's 0.001%, it's still passive income. So what are we talking about when we say passive income? It's like I think that a lot of reasons too tying into today. And again, Mikey, this isn't a shot at you. It's just taking your example and using it as an understanding of how it pertains to the topic today. Is that reasons why people don't excel? Is because they use a lot of blanket terminology that in their mind means something, but there's no clear destination to where you're going.
Mhm.
So when I say I want passive income, it's like, okay, well, what do I want? Do I want an Amazon store? Do I want automation, drop shipment? What specifically am I trying to do? So am I trying to sell custom made socks and do an online store to where all I got to do is worry about somebody shipping the stuff out? Do I want to be a third party vendor for somebody? Do I want to build my social media presence so that I can get a sponsorship and then everybody who uses my link, I collect a 20% retainer off of everything sold using my link? Like, what does that mean? Because
Every single thing that you just mentioned still requires some degree of work. There is no such thing that and forget it. You know what I'm saying? Even with the machine, set it and forget it. You still have to put the work in to put the chicken in the machine and then hit the button. And then it did everything else. You still got to put work in to get them and do what it's supposed to do.
sounds that
So
air
I
fryer
mean, it's
talk.
just like you know what I'm saying? It's just like a computer. You know what I'm saying? The computer can make everything possible for you, but you're the one that still has to and click to make it what it needs to do in order to passiveness or the results that you're looking for. Uh-oh, I did something.
Did you wait a minute? Hold
Uh-oh.
on. Oh my God, the
Uh-oh.
Illuminati came and got my brother. Okay, welcome back.
I'm like, hold on. He making too much sense. Cut his camera off. Again, remember we was talking about the level. Having issues
Uh-huh.
with the camera, having issues with the sound.
Shakita, while you here, I
But
got
yeah,
a question for you.
and you're right. Like we so but yeah, we so gung ho on these phrases that a lot of these people out here use to try to wow you and to get you to spend your money that you're supposed to be used to so-called build your passive income to buy into their programs, to buy into whatever they got going on. A great word that they like to throw around: mastermind. That's a big word that
So,
they like to throw around.
so Shakita, the question I just opened up the chat, so feel free to bomb at will. The question I have for you: I see that you've been jumping on stage and been doing a lot of storytelling as of late. What is the reason why
It does work.
you
That's
decided
why I
to
brought
take
it
that route? What is the reason why you decided to take that route? Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is that something that you're venturing off into as far as an addition to what you currently do? Because I'm going somewhere.
She typing, y'all.
Say my friends have always encouraged me to do it. So now, how do you feel now that you've done it? Because you've done it a couple of times now, correct?
Type up, type up how you felt on your first experience to your latest stage showing
Oh, yeah,
or
I
speech?
want to read out loud your. You said what?
What kind of consulting business, Mikey? What industry do you want to consult in? Thank you. You see that, folks? All you have to do is just do it. Jay-Z said that he is nervous and scared every single time he goes on stage, even though he's been on stage hundreds of times. He don't know how the show is going to go. He's nervous every time, but he still gets out there and go. Organizational. Okay. Okay. I can I can smell a little undertone of acquisition in there.
Mergers and acquisitions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sound like money to me. No,
Well,
but
me.
with these two people that are commenting in the comment box, one of the things that you notice is the fact that there's clarity. Where there's clarity, there is direction. When somebody say, I've been wanting to get on stage and I've been encouraged to do it, so I went and I got on there and I did it. It's not about whether or not you know the outcome already, because none of us know what the outcome is going to be. We don't know the reception that we're going to get. We don't know how things are going to go. But one reason, along with other reasons, that we are not successful is because we're not even willing to try.
Mm-hmm.
We will talk ourselves up and talk ourselves out of it, just like that. You ever spoke something up and you built it up so much in your head and it's like it was just overflowing and ooze, and then you start finding yourself telling yourself every reason why you shouldn't do it, and then talking yourself out of it, or talking to people who are reinforcing negative reasons on, well, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't do that if I was you because, and then what? It happens so frequently that you don't even realize that a lot of times the over analyzation of your thoughts and talking too much about it to other people can plant the seeds of negativity or change. Because you come to me and you tell me, like, hey, man, I want to do such and such. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. Well, where you live? All right, on my $1,000 smartphone. All right, well, here go the Secretary of State's office in your state. Starting the LLC costs this much money. Is that going to be a credit or check?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next time that I hear from y'all, I want to hear this same portion of the conversation. Don't talk to me about it. Don't make sense no more at that point in time, because now we're just talking for the sake of exercising our mouths. I'm sharing after I decide to do it. If I seek validation first, it more likely won't happen.
Well,
Bomb.
see, here's the thing, though. You know what I'm saying? But before we go down that road, you said something that a lot of people don't have. And you said that you had friends that actually encouraged you to do it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people got what Mike was talking about. They start giving you all this negative energy and running your mind through all the different reasonings as to why you shouldn't do it based off the fact of why they wouldn't do it, because they're scared to make that leap and jump and take the risk and to elevate and excel and soar and be great things in life for themselves. So because they lack the ambition to do it, they're gonna try to knock you down to do it. But the fact that you had friends in your corner telling you to do it, hold on to them friends. Straight up.
That was definitely a plus. But I was to that point. I'm about to read something to y'all real quick because y'all know I like reading. Not really, but yeah. So I put out a TikTok video earlier today. It was also on Facebook, but just because of the fact that the comment came from TikTok, I want to go over it with y'all briefly. So on TikTok specifically, I dropped a video, and the video says that the difference between keeping it real and being a ... Y'all might have seen it, y'all might not have seen it. I don't know. Cyberspace is funny that way. I might be getting shadow banned in certain areas, but let's stay positive. So in the comment, and basically the premise of the short video was there's a difference between being direct and being an asshole. You're not keeping it real and talking to people, talking down to people because your opinion of what they do or what they did, no matter how stupid it is, it doesn't give you the open invite to just speak to people the way that you want.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like, just because I think that what you did was stupid doesn't mean that it absolves me of leading with compassion. Even more so, sometimes you have to think before you open up your mouth, is it even my place to speak on this? Is it even my place to open up my mouth and say anything about what's going on inside of your life? What gives me the invitation to feel that because I am privy to certain information that I am allotted an opinion about that situation in the first place? So now, one of my comments came in and it said, sometimes an MF need to hear it in a hurtful way to truly understand though, 100. I like when I get those comments. My response was, age and experience has taught me that sometimes letting a fool be a fool is better than entertaining them.
Facts.
So what you don't realize is that you're the fool. You're the fool I'm referring to, not the person who made the decision that you felt the need to comment on. What gives you the right to determine how somebody needs to receive a message that you in your head thought that they needed to hear to get the message?
The way that you thought that it should have came across.
The way that you felt, exactly. So therefore, it's like, say you can mean what you say and give understanding at the same time. Don't lead with your ego. I mean, there's so many different ways to wrap your mind around certain things, but at the end of the day, I feel like when you approach situations from a pillar of wisdom and understanding, you approach it with compassion. First and foremost, the prayer of serenity is how I live my life, which is going to get into the next reason why, potential reasons why people don't excel. But the prayer of serenity runs my life. Give me the ability to change the things that I can change. Give me the strength to accept the things that I can't change and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. That is how I live my entire life. I don't overstep my boundaries. When there's an opening for me to be a blessing or for me to be good to somebody or to give an opportunity or to take advantage of an opportunity, I can't say I take advantage of all of them, but I tend to not try to miss out on the things that make sense to me at that time. So if I see somebody standing off on the side crying, that's not an invitation for me to go over and go, hey, what you crying about? But if you come to me, that we're in the vicinity and you make it evident to me that you're hurting or something is going on with you, and you invite me in, I'll listen. And at that point in time, I don't ever feel the need to say, oh, wait, you stupid. If I was you, I wouldn't have. I never can see a reason to where that way of dealing with a circumstance is ever necessary. I can't. I cannot rationalize a single point to where me beating you while you're already down is somehow a good option.
And pouring salt on the wound.
Yeah, let me go ahead and salt the earth so nothing else can grow there. But with that being said, the message involved in that situation for potential reasons why we don't excel, I think is a pretty simple one. It's because we think we got all the answers. We think we know better than everybody else. We think that we see the picture better than everybody else see the picture. We think that we have a better understanding of everybody else's situation. And oftentimes, when you got enough time to entertain somebody else's situation, that truly means that you ain't dedicated enough time to your own.
Hmm.
I was expecting the bomb to drop there, but no, it's okay. It's okay.
Man, I got you, dog. I got you. We ain't even gonna play like that. I got you.
I love these sound effects.
I got you.
But truth be told, one of the things that I look at as far as a synopsis of potential reasons why we don't excel, why we're not succeeding, why we're not getting to that place that we want to get to, is because of the fact that we are so entertained by everything that is not benefiting us. I don't need to sit back and watch my favorite motivational speaker to get up and move. Because that hour that I gave of watching a lecture from my favorite speaker is an hour that I didn't do nothing for myself. Chulo,
What's going on, man?
a lot
What's
of times, a lot of times we don't realize it. We don't understand that sometimes we go through. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a. You can.
Challenge accepted.
I can no. I mean, because I already know the opposing side of that. See, the problem is the fact that how much
Because
motivation do you need to move? How many hours of motivation do you need to consume to move? How many church services do you need to attend to know that God got a purpose for your life and that you got to get out there and go find it? How many? How many does it take? How many lectures? How many sermons? How many
Mikey,
conversations need to be had before you know that there's something that you need to get up and go do?
get up, get out, and do some.
Like,
So
I'll,
we allow
I'll
others to
go ahead, go ahead.
dictate our limitations without even knowing we doing it. I mean, you hit that right on the head, Mikey. Like, think about it. A job. You come in the door, they tell you how much the job is paying because that's what they see fit for the payment for that particular position. Maybe we'll give you a raise, and if they give you a raise, it's going to be a nickel, but 10 cents, a quarter, maybe $1. Yeah, you're capped by being dictated what your pay limitation is. That's just an example, but yeah, you're right.
Well, Shakita, I want you to look at it from this point, and I'm gonna read that out loud. If what you said is true earlier about having friends encourage you isn't not normal, then there are some people who need encouraged by their inspiration. The question is not about whether or not the encouragement is necessary. It's about how much encouragement do you need to consume before you finally get up and act.
Yeah,
So do I need to talk to my support circle 17 times on 16 different days and at midnight tonight and at 2 in the afternoon tomorrow about the same thing that we already talked about? Everyone isn't equipped to be action oriented. Majority of people are waiting to be led naturally. Everyone can't be a leader. What inspires you to move is based on how you. I agree to a degree, but I also agree that leaders are made and they're not. It's a decision, right? If I had to take let's just take something superficial like Batman, Superman. Batman didn't have to take his resources and save nobody. Superman didn't have to do what he had to do anything. Bill Gates don't have to take his billions of dollars and do anything. Warren Buffett don't have to donate a dime to charity. People who do great things because they decide and they execute. Whether it's your time or not, that is what you determine. But action is self motivated. There's nothing like there's no amount of conversation that I can have with anybody that's gonna make me get up and go. If I sit here right here in this spot in front of this camera after this show is over and I just stay here for 2, 3, 4 hours and I do nothing else, or I get up and I go to Walmart and go grab things that I need for the house and I iron clothes and I clean up my house and I start acting on purpose, that is all on me. Those are decisions that I have to make. And I think that what we're confusing here is a lot of times that we are leaning on our support systems until we feel that we are ready. But you and I both know a lot of the times that it's not a matter of when you are ready, because there's no such thing as ready. You'll never be ready. When people are having children, a lot of us that are having children, you'll never be ready. Because it's always going to be something that you want to do first. Oh, I didn't accomplish this. I didn't accomplish that. I didn't do this. I didn't get this done. Oh, this didn't happen. We'll always find a reason why not. Why it's not time yet. Why it's not the perfect time yet. Tell me how many things that what we've done in our lives that was just the perfect moment for. Some of us started businesses at some of the worst financial times in our lives.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because we just had this innate desire to be an entrepreneur. It's because of the fact that there was an opportunity, it was a window, and we took it. You'll never be ready, but one must accept the journey. But you saying the same thing I'm saying. We're simply starting the journey. The problem is the expectation isn't gratification. But you're saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. You actually are agreeing with me more
Slide
than
in.
you're
I'm
saying.
finna sum this up.
Go ahead.
I'm finna sum it up. All right, so check it out. All right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with motivational speakers or insert whatever speaker here that you want to add in that slot. Financial speaker, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right. Your Tony Robbins of the world, your Gary V's of the world, your Dan Penyas of the world, you know what I'm saying? All these people are fantastic. When it comes to certain things that you are looking for and needing in your life, okay? At the end of the day, once you receive said information that you were seeking and or needing or trying to elevate yourself or whatever, it's the action afterwards once you receive this information that matters the most. You know what I'm saying? Because Tony Robbins over here straight. He did what he was supposed to do. He motivated himself to make sure that he was straight. Now he trying to motivate you to make sure that you straight, but Tony Robbins isn't finna grab you by your hand and walk you over to this job over here and fill out the application when you know damn well you need to do that. He's not finna wake you up every single morning and make you throw your book bag on to go catch that bus to go to school because he know you need to do that. It's the action behind once you hear the message. So I think that's what Jones is getting at. Each person has to worry about their own kryptonite. Absolutely, everybody has a kryptonite. Whether it be you a midnight snacker, you trying your best to cut it out. You are an addicted. You're addicted to Apex. Guilty. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody has a kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? I do have my times when I get on it, but it is addictive. You know, everybody has a kryptonite. That's just something that you yourself have to be self-aware of and understand what your kryptonite is and work within those means of that kryptonite. Either try to completely cold turkey it or try to do your best to cope with it and work around it. But you still need to move and take some type of action to make sure that you straight. So
See,
I don't know. I hope I tried to sum that all up. It's like, yes, motivational speakers are needed. They're important for sure. But then once you receive the message, it's the action part that's supposed to happen and take place that matters.
and
You got
and
the
with
message, go do something.
well, and to that point, and it's like I don't want my words to ever be misconstrued as if I'm telling people that you don't move at your own pace. What I'm saying is that sometimes the issue lies between the fact that we are milking it. There are
Yeah.
times to where it's like you know that this needs to get done. And sometimes we are pushing these things off to the last possible minute, understanding that this needs to be done today. And the question is, how much building up do you need? How much motivation do you need? How much is your threshold? Because if I know that I have an immediate need for change, because every indicator in my life is telling me that something needs to change. I may not know the what, but I do know the why. I do know the when. I'm very
Mhm.
well aware of the fact that if I don't go get a second job and I can't maintain my rent, I clearly know there's something I need to do. So if I sit around and I'm trying to find who can I borrow some money from, or who can I pacify, or who can I woe ways me and maybe send. There's a lot of things that we do to try to circumvent the inevitable. And there's not enough conversations that I can have that's going to stop me from going and filling out the application. Because once you're moving, you're not talking. Once you're moving in a direction, you do a lot less fishing for motivation and a lot more fishing for ideas. Let
Yeah.
me go on Google. Let me have a conversation with the Google man to find out what's available. Because I need to find out what's going to work with my schedule. I need to find out what's going to pay me the rate that I need. What is going to allow me to still be able to do the things that I value, such as raising my kids or catering to the household to a certain degree or whatever else. What those things you can talk to people about, but there's no better resource than going to Indeed, Monster, and various other job boards where the actual jobs are.
And then putting action into learning how to conduct an interview properly or go through the interview process properly. Round one, round two, round three. That takes action. Um, Real quick, Mike, you know what I'm saying, that you said something that I do kind of disagree with.
Go ahead.
That something about everybody move at their own time or move at their own pace or something like that. I'm sorry, but you don't get to pick a pace. You don't get to move when you feel like moving. You don't get to do that. Okay. The light bill isn't going to wait until you decide to want to start your business and then they hold off until your business is thriving, or they're waiting on you to pass this interview to get this job. The gas bill isn't waiting on you. Com Comcast, I can't even think of the other one right now. The internet company ain't waiting on you. Okay, your stomach needs food. It ain't waiting on you. You don't get to move at your own pace. Your stomach wants food, it wants it now. Okay? The rent man wants his money, he wants it now. You don't get to move at your own pace. Get up off your ass, get your business moving, do what you need to do, make your connections, get your business, whatever you need to do. You need to, it's called being a gorilla. Period. Because again, like I said, the light bill ain't finna wait on you. They're gonna get cut off. Your cell phone ain't waiting on you, and you need your cell phone to conduct your business.
Speaking of that, I
So
need
I,
to pay my
I
light bill.
don't believe in that. Yeah. So I don't believe in that. You got your own pace. You get to move at. I don't believe in that, because if the rest of the world around you ain't moving at a pace that accommodates you, then you don't move at that pace. You move at the pace that keeps up with everybody else, so that you can conduct your life properly and your bills and everything stay, your lights and your gas and all that stay on, and you can keep gas in the car, and you can perform maintenance on your vehicle when it needs it. You know what I'm saying? The vehicle is not finna wait on you. You need to get back and forth to work now. You need the tire fixed now. You need the starter fixed now. So I don't know. I just want to put that out there. I don't believe in moving at your own pace.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. I mean, in context, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, it's like that's speaking on a ship that's already in motion. Obviously, it's like for some people who have not started yet. It's just one of those things to where it's like the initial commentary
Get
was
moving.
based on getting started. for the first time.
Get moving. Go. Let's go. Get the fuck out the door. I'm sorry to curse. Get moving. Go.
Why just got triggered?
Yes.
I like that.
Analysis paralysis. Stop being lazy. Go.
You know, sometimes I do wonder a lot of times if sometimes the world is just too soft now when it comes down to giving people reasons why they can't move or why they can't do or why they shouldn't do. And it's like, I'm not telling anybody that their school of thought is wrong. I just know that when it comes to students who underperform, the question is, there's a lot of questions. But I think that what happens is that just like we do to adults, we do the same thing to children where we're quick to associate a medical diagnosis or some out of body experience to the fact that they're just lazy and undisciplined. Like we don't want to believe that our child is just lazy and undisciplined. It's got to be something else. They can't keep up with class. Why? Because maybe they need a foot in the ass. Maybe that's really what it boils down to. Maybe they are somebody who they lack structure. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not the fact that they have attention deficit disorder. Maybe they have, I need a dad beating the hell out of me disorder. Okay, not beating the hell out you, but I mean in terms, I need somebody, I need structure and I need boundaries disorder.
Mhm.
I think sometimes we get to this place to where we have gotten so riddled with making excuses for everything that we fish for the excuse before we actually identify the fact that, you know, Johnny don't have a father at home. Johnny's mother lives in an area to where there are no success stories in her area. Johnny's mother works 2 jobs and there's no positive male influences to be found outside of the school. Maybe Johnny needs to join a sport. Maybe Johnny needs to get involved in an activity. Maybe Johnny needs to be in a mentorship program. Maybe there's something that we're failing Johnny with by not providing him with the essentials of learning what it takes to be a responsible man. And that's what's happening to him. Or maybe it's the fact that this person is not equipped to appeal to Johnny the way that Johnny needs to be appealed to. So now we need to search and find the person that appeals to Johnny in the way that Johnny needs to be spoken to, or the way that Johnny needs to be dealt with.
Right, for sure.
You know, so the football coach or the basketball coach or the wrestling coach or the chess coach or whatever have you, the speech team person or the debate team person, maybe I need to expose you to different things that will teach you about discipline and structure because any organized setting will generally teach you discipline and structure. Maybe the problem is that I'm doing too much trying to talk to you on the level and not enough exposing you to settings that require discipline and structure. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're just undisciplined and unstructured. That might be the problem. And I think that we are, I truly believe that we're at a place to where we've made all these excuses as a society for the reason why society is bad. And we just don't look at it and say the textbook education is just garbage. The textbook education is not intended to teach you valuable life skills that you're going to be able to take and earn a living on. There's nothing that learning about Mesopotamia is going to teach me about how to cultivate a farm, how to practice law, how to work on the body, how to do hair, nails. There's nothing that I'm learning that I can actually take into the workforce by sitting here learning about the ancient Sumerians. Nothing. I gained nothing.
That's why I said what I said about, Mr. Owens, Jesse Owens. Uh, remarkable athlete. Take nothing away from his accolades. He paved the way for a lot of athletes to come after him. But as far as my life and what I got going on and what I'm trying to do and maintain my lifestyle and my bills and my family, it does nothing for me. Does nothing for me. You need to find things that do stuff for you, that matter to you.
It's like, thank you for peeling away these milestones. But at the same token, that I don't want to be relegated to the belief that if I'm not an athlete or I'm not a musician or some form of entertainer, that I have no intrinsic value outside of these
Right.
areas that we appear to be pigeonholed in. Because we're not regarding our doctors, our lawyers, our police officers, our surgeons, whatever have you. We're not exalting these people to the highest echelon of our community. Instead, we're exalting the entertainment sector. And then even by exalting them, it's not like we're exalting them because they have proved themselves to be great business people who own their own name, who own their own abilities, who own their own masters. It's like, no, they just have been able to entertain people very well. And then later on down the line, we hear about people like Prince who had to do such strange things just to get the ownership rights to his own music. That you think about all the different people that is just like we regard them greatly for what they did, but the legacy of them died because now some company owner has access to them for the rest of their lives.
And they just waiting for the 70 year to run out. They just waiting for the 70 years to run out so they can start leasing this music free of charge, and they ain't got to worry about no copyright penalties and nothing like that, and just rake in all this money 70 years later.
So I mean,
Sad.
but it's the thing, and it's like that's why I say that it's like the struggle story means nothing if I can't apply the business of economics behind using what I've endured to earn money. Guess what? If you are cultivating farms, plantations, sharecropping, and then once opportunity came for you to take that skill and turn that into something that generate money for yourself or to generate a lifestyle for yourself, it's like that means something. That you took something negative and you turned it into a positive, great. But at the same token, you also own that land. You also own the right to be able to make money on it, to be able to mechanize it and be able to monetize it using something that was unfortunate or tragedy by how you learned it, but your end result was not your beginning result. You made that decision to change that paradigm once the opportunity became available, and many did. But
Yeah.
anyway, so guys, y'all know who I am. Number one Bears fan. Um, Mike Jones, Phil Jones, how you guys know me personally and professionally. And then you guys know the greatest co-hosters with the mostest.
What's happening? Y'all know how it's finna go, man. Y'all know how it's finna go.
You know, the Midas with the king in the front.
Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I think today again was another classic, another one for the books. A lot of great conversation going on in the chat. I thank you guys so much for stopping by, hanging with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you hung out with us today, or tonight, or this morning, wherever you at in the world. I appreciate it. Make sure that you go over to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe, and click the bell so you always stay in tune or when we go on live. And make sure that you talk to us on the Facebook group, the Extraordinary Men Facebook group, and that's where you can contact or get in contact with us directly to discuss any topics or ideas, or you just want to have some dialogue. You're looking for advice. We talk about mental health. We talk about finance. We talk about fitness. Uh, Mike is on his fitness journey. I'm actually slowly working up on getting my fitness journey going. I was actually online earlier looking up some different gyms that was around my area. I had the wife. I've been talking with the wife, and I had her, start changing up uh, the dietary, you know what I'm saying, nutrition that's coming into the house. And you know what I'm saying? So it's been a whole lot more water, a whole lot. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, just you know what I'm saying, talk about all my life situations going on, but I've been working on getting healthier too. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of having the money if you ain't healthy enough to go spend it? So,
That's real.
sir. You know what, Mikey? I was thinking about, and it was just being stupid, opening up a fitness shop called Ice Cream Sandwich. He said ice creams, fitness is an ice cream sandwich in my mouth. I thought it'd just be funny. But anyway, there he is. What's up, Elliot, dog, man? I hope you was able to catch any of the show. I know you had to work late, but definitely appreciate you being an advocate member. That would be
Hey,
epic.
Elliot,
I thought it would be.
Hey, Elliot, I'm gonna hit you up.
I thought it would be funny. You know,
We're actually shutting down. I'm gonna hit you up in a few minutes on the messenger. Hey, listen, I'll take it 110% of the time.
yeah,
Anyway, guys,
yes,
thank you
sir.
guys
Yes,
so much for y'all time today. Thank you for spending it. I got to get to work and go do my thing. So thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, peace.